Hello there, everyone. Hope you've been doing well. So, this is a new series that I'm starting, which is the planetary alignments. Hopefully, I'll be able to share this with you at least once a month, if not twice a month, depending on what's happening in the planets with the moon, with the full moon, and with the new moon. As you know, I usually share these things in the Prime and Flow newsletter, which I send out bi weekly. If you want to register in the newsletter, you'll have like a summary of the events, of the major events, and how to go around them. You can register on the link that's in the description below this video. But for now, this week, like really major aspects and things are happening in the sky. So I thought I would jump on here and share them. So if you'd like to watch the rest of the video, I would be grateful. I'd also be grateful if you can like or subscribe to this channel or share it with people who are interested in these things. So there's a rare hybrid eclipse happening this week. Today is Wednesday. I'm actually recording this very naturally today. Sorry. I'm actually recording this on Wednesday today. So the sun and the moon will align today, and they'll form a really powerful new moon and a very rare hybrid solar eclipse. This happens because of the curvature of the Earth's surface. Because it's curved, this type of eclipse happens. A hybrid solar eclipse appears as either a total solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse, or an annular solar eclipse. The three versions of this week's event can be viewed from parts of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, also from, I think, Western Australia, not all of Australia, and Indonesia. So that's why it's called a hybrid solar eclipse, because you can view it in different ways, depending in different modes, depending on where you are located or where you're viewing from. Also, this type of eclipse reminds us of the importance of accepting one another despite our varying viewpoints, perspectives, belief systems, cultures. So it's just an indication that it would be good as people to accept one another no matter what background we actually come from. And usually during and around the eclipse time, there's always a heightened sense of emotions. And this week's solar eclipse is likely to be so. And usually the effect and impact of the emotions that are experienced during an eclipse week can last a few days before the eclipse and also a few days after. And sometimes even for weeks they can last. So if this week you're feeling extra sensitive, emotional, like you're not in the great headspace that you are used to being in emotionally, then you can blame it on the eclipse. And also we are likely to experience a sense of urgency this week. It's like we're ending a chapter in our life and we must wrap up quickly and clean up everything, finish everything, tidy everything, and deal with unresolved issues before we move on to the next chapter. And this eclipse is happening in the astrological sign of Aries. So Aries is usually hot-headed, similar to Taurus, but a bit more determined. So some people may take action or simply decide impulsively this week. Some may feel compelled to kind of act now. So if you're feeling compelled to act in a rush or act now, it's better to be more patient. When it comes to the karmic implications of this eclipse, it's actually, this one is aligned with a black hole called supernova remnant CASA, something like this. That's what I read in my research. And this type of alignment with an eclipse, solar eclipse with a black hole, warns us to be observational rather than reactive. And I was reading, during my readings and research, I read a quote or an explanation by astrologer Mary Elizabeth Josh Menz, and she explains this in one of her books, which is called Karmic Galactic Astrology. She says, quote, "There is a tendency here to relate to people, places, and situations from a remembrance of a past life energy or memory, rather than being in the present, dealing with the reality of how things, people, places, and situations are now. Integration of past lives and learning acceptance of those lessons will help us relate in the here and the now in a more healthy manner, and this will help us not overreact in an irrational, emotional manner." So this is how she explains it when it comes to the karmic implications of this solar eclipse. Now, it's good to remember that on Wednesday 19th and tomorrow, Thursday 20th, there is also a new moon. So there's a solar eclipse that is also happening at the same time of a new moon. So our task is to remain, neutral and try to have better emotional responses to things. It will be wise. It will be wise to pause and reflect on our underlying motivations, as if we feel a sense of urgency to act, since actions taken out of fear or anger, as we know, can create more drama than resolve it. So because it's also a new moon with a solar eclipse, it's a bit like it's a big energy portal this week, pretty much. And as we know, during the full new moon, it's good to focus on our intentions, like what are the things that we want to create, whether at work, with family, in our relationships, maybe with our health, with ourselves, maybe on the outside in circumstances, maybe as a collective, as people in society and in a certain culture, in a country that's going through turmoil. What do we want to create? What do we want to achieve or manifest or attract to us as individuals or as groups? Now, this week is a good time to list down and write all your intentions, and you can also do that with like I've kept space in my Flow with the Moon planner. I'm not sure if you remember this. It's available. Like I can ship it to you wherever you are in the world. Now that I'm in the Netherlands, shipments should be easier. And inside this, like this is mine. I'm using it. There's a spread that says setting intentions. So set your intentions for this month. Think of a short or long-term goal. List your desires, whether simple or big. What steps can you take this month to make them happen? And there's also a section here where you can list like what you're excited about, what have you always wanted to begin but never have, what is stopping you, and how will you practice self-care. And also there are other pages in this wonderful planner that I've designed for you to be guided by the moon's energy. There's a video explaining more about this Flow in the Moon planner. I will link it also in the description below. So apart from the solar eclipse, there's also, and the new moon, there's also Mercury, which is going to start being in retrograde starting Friday 21st. It will be in retrograde from April 21st till May 14th. During this time, we will benefit from, considering life events as symbolic. What does that mean? It's like you might feel that life events that are happening as if you've dreamt about a situation rather than experienced it in real life. There is a potential also shift that can happen in our habitual thought patterns. If we want to change them, then we will be able to. Also, with Mercury retrograde, it can be wise to consider new ideas and plans as the first step in a process, rather than making a final decision now. It's advised not to sign contracts, start new things, make big major purchases during the Mercury retrograde. Don't start a new job, don't buy a new house during this time, during retrograde, it's best not to sign contracts, start a new project. It's not the time. Just continue whatever you're doing at the normal pace that you do it in, and don't make final decisions about anything. Wait till May 14th. So these are the things that are happening this week in terms of planets. And don't forget to check out the planner that I'm selling in print and online as well, digital. It is a digital version. It's more than 200 pages and it has prompts that help you to manifest and attract to you the life that you want. I hope this video is beneficial for you. So please don't forget to subscribe, like this video. If you have any comments or questions, you can always reach out. And happy Mercury retrograde and happy new moon, and I hope you will enjoy this eclipse time.